Shalom, 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 Israel. Rod of Iron, Austere family. Yeah, I'm all right now. I'm all right. I'm at my spot. At my spot. Belly's on tight. I'd like to thank my brothers, you know, for hooking brother Matt up. Got his belly tight, man. And I walked out of there sideways. I walked out of there sideways like a crab. Carried my feet walking. I was like, ding, 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 ding. All right, so check it out. Thank you, brother Gael and brother Kafar. Didn't know you was in on it, all. Appreciate that. Okay. Sorry I didn't get to share a sausage with you. You said you wanted a sausage. I would have gave you one. Next time. I look forward to the day where we can all sit down, man, and eat till we pop and chill out, man. What I'm really looking forward to is when AUSTERE gets back, man, we can have that drink, you know. But still work to do. So getting these scriptures, man. Something on my heart I want to share through the word of the Most High. Alright. We have to keep in mind and always keep it before us, you know, about our liberty. All right. I've got a lot of questions on still, kind of like, what can we do here? What can we do there? I know some of y'all are concerned about being out of order. I'm gonna tell you, man, 9 times out of 10, you kind of know when you're out of order because you feel it. There's been a lot of restrictions placed on us growing up. The scriptures say all things are lawful unto us, but not all things are expedient. Now, we know blatantly what is not allowed in the scriptures, all right? Pretty much, but I know there's gray areas. But for the most part, we pretty much know what's right and wrong. You know, we know we can eat what we want. We know we can, you know, it's pretty much like this. This is how everything got messed up. See the point we at right now? You wasn't at this point when you was in the church house. All right, you weren't there. So what the church house did was they practiced the law of liberty, not knowing that they were Israelites, believing in a heathen God named Jesus Christ, who's supposed to accept the entire planet, which threw the whole regiment off because the real Son of the Most High, AUSTERE, died only for Israel. That's why nothing ever made sense. So what they did was they said you have freedom, but then they said you didn't. If you live with a woman, you're fornicating. If you don't go to the justice of the peace or a preacher and get married and all of that bullshit, right? Which is all lies. It's all false. So a lot of us still got a lot of won't he do it in us. They got to come out. So I just want to read a passage today. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Apostle Paul says, do we begin again to commend ourselves? Or need we, as some others, epistles of commendation to you, or letters of commendation from you? Talking about permission, commendation, formalities, you know. But look what he says. He said, you are our epistle, written in our hearts, known and read of all men. It's about the way you act. It's not about what's written. It's not about what's done. It's how you treat one another. It's how you treat others. It's how we deal with each other. That's how we know. All right? This is how we know what we are in the Most High. All right? We're gonna get to the banger down here. I'm gonna read through the whole thing. Look at verse 3. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be epistles of a Mashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living power. Look here. Not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. It's how you act. It's how you do. It's how you walk. It's how you move. This is how we know whether you with Yahushua or not, man. So, the church house fucked that up. According to them, you got to take shit off everybody. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. Which is a damn lie, man. Let me prove it to you. Let's go to, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 17. Matter of fact, verse 14, Ecclesiastes 7 and 14. It says, in the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. So you got prosperous days, you got adverse days, days of difficulty, right? So, he said, on one be joyful, and on the other one consider. You got right-hand days, you got left-hand days, right? The power also has set the one over against the other to the end that man shall find nothing after him. So you're going to have both, right? Life is about balance. You ain't going to have it good all the time. You ain't going to have it bad all the time. So how can the Most High be good all the time? That's a lie. Verse 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. All right, so you got a righteous and you got a wicked. The righteous man try to do everything right all the time. Don't offend nobody. Don't do this. Don't do that. Then he perish. You perish trying to do shit right all the time. Trying not to offend nobody. Well, I don't want to say that. You know, that's my brother. That's my sister. That's my mama. That's my daddy. That's my grandmama. All right, I can't do that. Then you perish because they don't give a fuck about you, man. All right? They don't spare your feelings. They don't give a shit about you. But you perish in your righteousness because you think that's what the Most High wants. No. And there's a wicked man that prolongeth his life in wickedness. That's the ones that's fucking you over. They prolong their life. They throw all of their stress on you. They make you take everything. They make you bite the bullet. They make you go to bed at night with your damn head hurting. All right? They prolong their life by ditching all of their bullshit on you and shitting on you all the time. Verse 16, here's the anecdote. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Look, you destroy yourself trying to do things right, quote unquote, all the damn time. You do. All right? You can't be that way. And it says, verse 17, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? When you wicked all the time and fucking over people and being wicked, man, then eventually it's going to catch up with you. Look at this, verse 18. It is good that you should take hold of this, yea, also from this withdraw not your hand. For he that feareth the Lord shall come forth to them all. It's going to be times you got to be cool, and it's going to be times that you're going to have to be not cool in the eyes of man, but in the eyes of the Most High is necessary. All right? Let's go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to by the epistle of a Mashiach ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living power, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. Okay? Fleshly tables of the heart. Your heart's supposed to guide you, man. When you ain't feeling right, when you know somebody, it don't mean you no good. I don't care who it is, man. When you know somebody don't mean you no good, then you ain't got to sit there dealing with that shit, man. Leave. Fuck their feelings. And such trust have we through Hamashiach to power work. Verse 5. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of the power. We get our sufficiency from him, man. Right? Verse 6. Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter kill it, but the Spirit give it life. See, the letter kill it. All right? If you read it verbatim, just like it is, with no spirit behind it, you'll think that's what Christians do. They read it verbatim, you know. For God so loved the world that he gave the only begotten Son. So now the whole world can get saved. Everybody on the planet. The letter kill it. He ain't talking about that. What's the spirit of the text? What is he saying? You got to investigate that, okay? It don't mean the whole fucking planet. He don't give a shit about these other nations, man. But that's how you get caught up. And then you get convicted in your own spirit, your own soul, because you think the Most High wants you to be a certain way and he don't. You perish it in your righteousness. Well, it's for the Lord. I'm going to let them keep fucking over me because of the Lord. You know, I'm going to do it for him. He did it for me. No, no, no. Look. Yahushua died for Israel because he had to. Because he was the one that messed up. You got to understand regeneration. He was King Solomon. And because of him, the entire nation went off. He went off, man. He had to pay for that. He's the Son of the Most High. But that's why it says that he learned obedience to the things he suffered. All right? He was Adam. Anybody that's a Sadducee or a lawkeeper, they ain't going to get this. But you should get it by now. If you've been rolling with me long enough, you should know this. Look at verse 7. But if the ministration of death, written and engraven in stones, was glorious, the ministration of death, what was written in the stones? The commandments, right? The law of Moses, right? So that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away with. All of that he did was done away with, all right? It was replaced. Let me show you. It says, how shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious? What's the ministration of the Spirit? They condensed all the commandments to 2. Yahushua did that. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, and strength. And thou shalt, the second one is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 hang all the law and the commandments. It's how you act. Let's go on back up. Verse 2. Ye are our epistle written in our hearts, known and read of all men. How you act, how you do. That's it. Let's read verse 9. 2 Corinthians 3, verse 9. For if the ministration of condemnation be glory, the ministration of condemnation was the commandments, the 10 commandments, and the law of Moses. They condemned you because you couldn't do them all. Much more doth the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory. The ministration of righteousness, all right, is Yahushua's law, right? The law of the Lord. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by reason of the glory that excelleth. The law of Moses and the 10 commandments, they have no glory compared to what we have now, right? Verse 11. For if that which is done away was glorious, it's done away with. It's right here. Much more that which remaineth is glorious, what remains. The 2 greatest commandments. That's what remains. Right? Look at verse 13. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. See? Moses had a veil over his face when he came down. They couldn't even look upon him. All right? And now that is abolished. It's gone. Look at verse 14. But their minds were blinded. For until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away with Hamashiach. When Yahushua came, he took that veil away. But all the way up to Yahushua, that veil was still on. They couldn't look upon it. Verse 15. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. So all you, these law keepers, every time they read the Torah and all that, the veil is on their heart, man. Even now, you see what's happening to them. Proof is in the pudding. Who getting clowned on YouTube publicly? Verse 16. Nevertheless, when they shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. All they have to do is turn to the Most High, His Son, and listen to Him, right? Will they do it? Nope. So what happens then? They stay in spiritual darkness, and then they get DP'd, right? They get disciplined. Look at verse 17. Now the Lord is that Spirit. All right? And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, freedom, no bondage. That's how you know when you got the Spirit of the Lord, is there's liberty there. If there's no liberty, then He's not there. Look at verse 18. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. So we are continuously changing. All right. The law of Moses changed your outward actions, but it left your heart stony. The law of the Lord changes your heart, your stony heart, into a heart of flesh. All right. And then that in turn changes your actions. All right. So, let's go to Ezekiel 36. Going to go down to verse 24. He says, for I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. That haven't happened yet. All right. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. Look at verse 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God, your power. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and will call for the corn, and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. All right. Not for your sakes do I this, saith the Lord power. Be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord power. In the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste cities builded. And the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by. Israel is desolate right now, all right? So He's doing that now. He's changing our stony heart to flesh right now, all right? Through the word, because what do we just read in 2 Corinthians chapter 3? It said that which was before is done away with. Let's go back there. 2 Corinthians. Verse 13. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. It was abolished by the time Paul wrote this. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in the Mashiach. So it's done away with. So if the Old Testament is done away with, right here in the scriptures, then we got to be in that new one, and our hearts are being renewed, and we don't have a stony heart no more. We got a heart of flesh. So we can respond to the Most High. We can feel when he wants us to do something. A cold, stony-ass heart can't feel anything, right? Look at verse 17. It says, now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. It's freedom, all right? Got freedom. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory. From day to day, we get better and better. Now, these Pharisees, they don't get better and better. They don't. They get worse and worse. They stay stuck, right? You don't do that. And you learn how to operate in the Spirit. I mean, you should know by now. I mean, look, I'm not going to tell y'all nothing wrong. I'm not going to be this is why there's a lot of people that they can't sub to this channel because they think I'm doing something wrong. They think I'm doing something wrong when I cuss out wicked ass people. I'm not. It's righteous, man. Let me get that precept. This is this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. We'll start at verse 4. So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of the power for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure, which is a manifest token of the righteous judgment of the power, that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the power for which ye also suffer. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the power to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right? And to you that are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. All right? And flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not the power and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power. See? All of these 2/3, these wicked ass people, even when they make it to the kingdom, man, they'll never see the Father, man, ever. For eternity, you ain't gonna never see him. Rico, you ain't gonna never see the Father, man, ever. Ever. You're gonna make it. You're gonna get put to death, and then you're gonna get shot out into the kingdom by one of the men of the Lord. Then you're gonna get raised right. But you'll never meet the Father. Everything you said, you ain't gonna never meet him, man. You fucking done, man. So we have to walk in the Spirit. Let me get that precept. Let me get that precept right here. This is Galatians chapter 5 verse 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the Spirit. See? You got to walk in the Spirit. What is the Spirit? The Spirit is, what would Yahushua do, man, like they always say. But a lot of us don't know what he would do because the church house done told us a bunch of lies, man. We think we got to be good all the time and agree with everybody. No. No, a spiritual walk, you're going to come from both sides. It's going to be times that some people got to get checked. It's going to be times that some people you can just stand still. It's going to be times for you to forgive sometime. You got to weigh each situation out, man. That's how it go. You know, to try to have mercy on somebody for a little while, but when somebody just keep fucking with you and bashing your head against the door, no. You got to come a time when you going to have to put that left hand on them, all right? You got to do some left-handed shit. So, I just wanted to encourage y'all today. You can't do that being no law keeper, man, all right? You got to have liberty, all right? You gotta be balanced, all right? The law of Moses is not balanced, it's cutthroat. It changes your actions without changing your heart. If you got a stony heart, that's like a car and you driving up the highway, and as long as the highway's straight and you got the steering wheel straight, then you'll be okay for a while. But what happens when a turn comes and the steering wheel is still straight? That's what trying to keep the laws like. Eventually you're going to run into somewhere you're going to have to adjust some things, all right? And if you in that law of Moses, you ain't going to be able to adjust nothing because it's the letter. No. You can't eat this. You can never do that. You can never do it. Nah. Nah. You got to have the liberty to flow. It's got to flow, man. It's got to flow. All right? It's got to flow. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 3 again. Second Corinthians 3 and 14. It says, but their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil, untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in the Mashiach. The veil is still up, man. Still up. The veil is still up. You know, to some. This is what separates the 1/3 from the 2/3. The veil. Right? You either on one side or you're on the other. That's pretty much it. So all praise to the Most High that we're on the right side. The veil was rent from top to bottom. All right. See if I can get that precept. This is let's go to Luke 23. This is Yahweh's crucifixion. Let's look what happened. Gonna go down to verse 38. And a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew. This is the King of the Jews. Not Jewish. The Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, if thou be the Mashiach, save thyself and us. Taunting him, see? But the other answering rebuked him, saying, dost thou not fear the power, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man hath done nothing amiss. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when you come into thy kingdom. And Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto you, today you shall be with me in paradise. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was a darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. Verse 45, and the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in the midst. All right? It was rent. The veil is done, man. No more law. 46, and when Yahushua had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having said this, he gave up the ghost. Verse 47. Now when the centurion saw what was done, he glorified the Father, saying, certainly this was a righteous man. Right? So the veil was rent, man. No more veil. The veil was the law, and it was done away with. So operate in your liberty. All right? Stop thinking you're doing everything wrong, or maybe I shouldn't feel like this. No. If somebody's fucking you over, they fucking you over. You got a right to be mad. You got a right to be pissed. You got a right to defend yourself too. You got a right to leave them alone. You got a right to tell their ass when they doing wrong. You got a right to do all that. Fuck what their position is, anything. Get that one, you do it as a mighty. All right? So, I think that's about all I can say about that. All right? Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Quickly prepare for the next message, all right? It's a brother Matt, and I'm out. Shalom.